Well, that's pretty. Really like that. Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome back to my Fluid Art channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So it's spring here in West Virginia, and my yard is just bursting with these glorious rhododendrons. And so I just keep looking out my window and getting inspired. So today I want to do a painting of rhododendron blossoms, and I want to add a butterfly to it using my mixed media technique with real butterfly wings. So I'm really excited. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Let's make a painting. All right, here we go. Let's talk about our colors, size of our canvas, and all the details. So I've got just a small canvas today. This is a 7 by 14 inch canvas. And then I have a lot of colors. Seems like way too many colors for such a small canvas, right? But I need some sky. So I've got some sky blue that I've mixed. This is actually the same sky blue that I used for my palm leaf swipe. All my paint mixing details, color details, brand details, that's all in the video description if you are curious. But then I've got colors for the leaves and the stems, trunks, branches, and then I have colors for the rhododendron flowers. So this is not the first time that I've done a painting where I've been inspired by my rhododendron bushes. Last spring I did a painting outside on my patio. It was a blisteringly hot day, but I had a lot of fun, and you can watch that here. Rhododendron bushes, I've got like 5 different color variations in my yard, ranging from like light pink to hot pink to sort of pinkish purple to dark pink to, I have one that's bright red. But most of them are kind of a purpley pink or a pinkish purple. So that's what I've gone for with these colors. And the painting style that I'm doing today is Don Gregor's straw blown effect. And you can look at his channel. He does some really amazing hearts and designs and stuff with dots of paint and a straw. So that's the technique that I'm doing today to create both the leaves and the rhododendron flowers. And then on the blue sky, I'm going to be putting these butterfly wings to show a butterfly perched on one of these flowers. So this is an Eastern Tiger Swallowtail that I have the wings to, and they love the rhododendron blossoms. And let me just show you what I do with these wings to make sure that the color of the wing stays nice and vibrant even when you do the spray sealer on top, which can sometimes make the colors go a little bit transparent. I paint the back side of the wing. And of course, it's hard to pick up the wing. So I painted it yellow. Sometimes I paint it white, just so that it stays the color that it should be, even if it's on a colored background. This time I painted it yellow in the hopes that even if some of this yellow color gets lost as I do the spray varnishing, that it's still a beautiful yellow wing underneath. So I only have one top wing and one bottom wing, and then the antennae also. So we will get to those after I've finished making the rest of the painting. I used this technique also for my monarch butterfly micro swipe, which turned out amazing. You can find that video here. But for that one, I had 3 different colors for the flowers, and I used them all individually. There was like a metallic purple and a pink and maybe some other kind of a purple. And so it was this multicolored flower, the milkweed flower that I was making. For this, I don't want it to look multicolored, like each flower is a different color, but I do want there to be like a dimensionality to the blossoms where it's not just one color all over the place. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make some little mixed cups. So I'm going to make a mixed cup of my flower colors, and I'm going to make a mixed cup of my leaf colors, and I'm going to make a little mixed cup of my branch colors. That way, there's not going to be anything that's like solid one color. It should be this lovely blended mix. So for my leaf colors, yeah, I'm just going to put in a little bit of each color into this cup. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll give it just a little bit of a mix. Okay, so do you see that? How it's... I'll put a little bit more of the dark green. I want more of that. So I want to keep the colors from getting way too blended, but I want to be able to put out a dot of paint which is a mix of colors. So there's my green for now, and I'll move those out of the way. The branch color will be easier because it's only 2. It's just a dark brown and a light tan. Give that a quick little stir. There we go. And for this one, I have like a bright pink and a very gray purple and a metallic pink, which I made from a metallic light pink and a metallic magenta. And I will add a bit of white to this. And then mix that up a bit. Need a bit more of the hot pink there. Okay, and we'll see how this goes. Obviously I still have all the cups of colored paint, so if I need to like pivot and go about it a different way, I can do that. So my sky is going to be up here, so it's going to be like the edge of a bush and some sky. So I'll start by putting that down. And my paint, its thickness, it's somewhere between what I would call a medium and a medium thin. So it flows very nicely. It leaves a little bit of a mound, but that mound is gone in a second or two. So pretty thin, but not Dutch pour thin. Excellent. There's a nice sky area. So the next, often I'll do this on like a white background. For my monarch butterfly, it was a white background, and then I added all the dots of green and stuff. I don't know that I want it to be a white background. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this sort of more olivey green and a bit of this dark green and a bit of white also, especially white up near the sky, because that's where a lot of my flowers are going to be. I don't know. All of this is going to get covered with dots of paint. I just need some kind of a base layer. So I don't want it to be too static, and I don't want it to be too light colored. Like if I only used white as the base, there would be lots of pockets of white left over. Okay, so that is a very rough covering. That's not what it's going to look like in the end. It's just putting down a base coat, which is more or less the color of the bush. Let me give it a quick torch. There's a lot of air bubbles. Before I start adding in other stuff, I'm going to take some of this branch cup, and I'm just gonna make and then I'll just take this stick and sort of, I don't want these branch pieces to look too defined. but I want you to be able to see kind of behind the leaves and under the flowers that there are branches inside this bush. Okay, again, that's really rough. We're going to be covering that up with a lot of stuff. We're just putting down kind of a base layer that you'll be able to see underneath the more purposeful elements. Okay, we're going to start with a flower. So that's going to go up here. And I'm going to put dots of this. Ooh, that's pretty. This pinky purple mix right here along the edge, because that's where I want this flower to start blooming. All right, let's blow those, see how they look, see what we need to do differently. Okay, that is pretty. There's more green coming through there than I want. I thought that might happen. Let me keep going with it though, because the whole thing has not taken shape. So let's get a little bit further before we pass too much judgment. Okay, my colors have definitely gotten mixed in the cup. Let me add a bit more of the pink and the metallic pink. So I want to make a nice round blossom here, and then I'll start adding some leaves, sort of coming down this way, and then add another, probably a blossom here and a blossom here. And then we'll put the butterfly in. Okay, almost finished with this blossom, at least on the first layer. You'll notice there's a lot of squiggly up at the top. Once I have the basic shapes kind of blocked in, then I'll come in and put a few strategic blossoms to add the right shapes where we need them. But I want to experiment with some leaves. So after this one, let me try making some leaves coming this direction. So I've got my leaf colors, and rhododendron bushes, their leaves are pretty big, and they're kind of like an oval shape. So I want to try to blow these out more in a straight pattern. Okay, let's go with that for now and add a few more. Because the leaves shouldn't really be the same shape as the flowers should. Okay, I want some darker leaves, so let me add some dots of dark. Okay, I think if I want to add another flower here, I should start adding it now before I add too much in the way of the leaves. I'm not much liking this. It's very messy. And I know that I haven't gotten around to finishing it, but I feel like I have too much paint on the canvas. I think that's part of the problem. I think putting the pink flowers on top of the green background is not a great look, The main problem is I have too much paint on the canvas, which means as I blow out these flowers, they immediately start shrinking back up again. So I think the first step is to tilt off a fair amount of paint. Okay, let's start just a little bit again. And here's what I'm going to do. I feel like everything I have has good potential, but it needs to be tweaked. So my blossom, I think, needs to be on white, not on green. I think having it on green just didn't look right. So I'm going to add a white background to where the flowers are going to go. Second thing was, there's way too much brown here and not enough of the dark green. So I'm going to add a bunch more dark green, because I think the leaves should be kind of bright with a darker background. Well, that's pretty. Really like that. Now let's just add, instead of pouring the stems on, I'm just going to add some scattered droplets. Okay, let's start over. Except instead of starting with the flowers, I want to start with the leaves, and the flowers can come on top afterwards. Alright, those are looking more like leaves. It's because they're on a darker background, I think. Let's add one more row of leaves. Okay, the leaf blending effect is pretty nice here. It's not like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I think once we add the flowers, it's going to be more stunning. So let's start adding some dots of color for the edges of these flowers. Those flowers are already holding their shape a lot better, so I think that was the right call to get some of that extra paint off. I want a few flowers that are a little bit purpler even. So I'm going to add some of this gray purple and then put some of the mixed paint on top of it so it's not all that bluish color. These are looking a lot better than they were, so overall I'm happy with that. It's time to keep moving down. I do think I want one more flower here. So let me add leaves on this side and then I'll swipe white over here so I can put the flower on top of that. So I'm kind of wondering whether this is the wrong approach to the leaves. I don't know. I might want to add the flower and then see. I'm wondering about swiping, like with a round-tipped... Not that one. I have one somewhere. Like a round-tipped palette knife. And see if I can just swipe the leaves. Let me grab one of those palette knives and just give it a test. Because this isn't bad, but I'm also not loving it. And I want to love my painting, so let me grab that. Okay, this is the one that I mean. So it's like exactly the size and shape of the leaves that I'm wanting to add. So let me try, I'll just dip it into some of this. Maybe. Honestly, I'm liking this look better. The leaves are less defined, but they're also smoother. And rhododendron leaves are smooth and shiny. So this looks more like the feel of a rhododendron bush. I think by mixing up my swipe directions, I'm adding some texture. Okay. And then there will be one more flower cluster right here. So I'll swipe off some of the extra green. I think that's enough white for now, so let's start adding some of our pink and purple flowers.
All right, I'm gonna call the background done. Is it perfect? No. It's a little messy. It's a little bit, not childish, just like very bright. It's not quite as realistic as I hoped. Maybe adding the realistic butterfly will bring in some of the realism, but I like the smooth leaves better. The flower bunches look nice. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so for the butterfly, it's going to go up here on this top flower. And the tiger swallowtail, sort of the top of its wing is the brighter yellow and the underneath side is paler yellow. Now, because I'm doing a sideways butterfly, typically the side that you would see is the paler underside. And the realistic part of me wants to do that, but the like beautiful, let's make this look as nice as possible side of me wants to use the brighter yellow. So that's what I'm using. So I'm going to use my forceps. I'm going to I am going to layer the top wing first and then overlap the bottom wing on top of that. That's how it would be from the side. There we have a wing. Just going to press carefully to make sure that it's contacting the paint all the way across. Cool. All right, next wing. Yeah, that looks good. It's not overlapping a ton, but that's okay because where it should overlap, I'll be brush painting a body, and so it'll be fine. That looks really good. Okay, now it's time to add the antennae, and you could just paint these, but I really like the additional texture it gives to have the actual butterfly antennae. So to me, it's worth the extra difficulty. Okay, it's getting swallowed just a bit in the blue paint. As the paint dries, the level of the paint will go down, and I can just paint the antenna back to black on the top of that. That looks great. Really happy with that. Can't wait to see how it dries. I may be adding some details here in the leaves. I may be adding some details in the flowers. I definitely will be brush painting a body on that butterfly, but for now I'm finished. Let me give you a close-up. All right, here we go. So this one fought me a little bit, but I think I like how it is right now. So there's that gorgeous butterfly. That chip that's on its wing, I can paint that in so you'll never notice. But there's our flower. It looks much better on a white background, doesn't it? And then we got this one. And yeah, getting some of the extra paint off there meant that the petals didn't get so squashed. They were able to keep their shape a bit better. And then here's those leaves, just the little swipe effect. It's very, very abstract, but it does make that kind of smooth and crisscrossing effect that the leaves would actually have. And then another gorgeous bunch of blossoms. So I will take you back when this is dry so that I can brush paint the body of the butterfly, possibly add some more details to the flowers or the leaves. So let's go to that next. All right, here it is dry. So it dried really well, didn't shift or anything. Look how pretty those wings are. Oh, I just love that. Also, take a look at the shimmer. That metallic pink that I had is really, really shimmery there. You can see it in the center of those bright pink flowers. So it just looks really cool. The leaf background, it's very abstract. I don't know whether I'm going to try to make that look more defined or not. It's time for me to start the brush touch-ups, but I'm actually not going to show them to you because I have other videos where I show you how I touch up my butterflies and add general touch-ups to a painting. So if you're curious to see how I do touch-ups, you can go watch those videos and the links will be popping up here. But for now, I feel like this has been enough of a process for you to watch without watching me do all the brushwork. So let us go straight to the finished piece. Okay guys, it's all done. My goodness, that took some doing to get it right, but I'm really, really happy with this. So let me talk you through the touch-ups that I did since I didn't show you the actual process. Let's start up here with our beautiful tiger swallowtail. So as you can see, it's a very simple body. I only used yellow and black to do that. And I just followed a reference photo to know what the markings on the body and how the legs should be. So I love that. And then some of these flowers, they had gotten just a little bit warped, a little bit strange shaped. So using some of my leftover paints, I just evened them out a little bit to make them less distracting, smooth them out, make them look a little bit more picturesque. And then as you can see, I added some centers, some of the little stamens with my Hippie Crafter paint markers, so that made it very easy to just add some simple details. So there's that. Yeah, I really like how these ones turned out. And then the leaves. So I wasn't that happy with my green leaf area. And so I took some of my dark green and I thought, let me just make some kind of outlines and shadows. So I started with that.
And then I took some lighter green and just blended it in very thinly to brighten up larger portions of those leaves to really make them stand out. And then my favorite part is I took my metallic green and I painted it just along the edges of one side of the leaf and one side of the middle edge, so that you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, leaves. But then when you see it at the angle, it makes that lovely glare that really makes them look three-dimensional. So I love that. But yeah, overall, very happy with this. Tell me, what did you think? And have you ever had a painting that really fought you and took some effort to actually get a result that you liked? I'm so happy that I persevered with this one. So thank you guys for watching. I hope it was helpful to see me kind of struggle through the whole process, and I really hope that you like the finished result as much as I do. Alright guys, I'll see you for the next video. Bye!